Chosen ones, what I am about to reveal may surprise you. It may even shake you to your core. Deep within, you have always felt different, as if there was something special about you that others couldn't understand. If you are watching this video, know this: it is not a coincidence. You are here for a reason. Your childhood was anything but ordinary. There were moments, signs, and experiences that carried a divine message, even if you didn't recognize them at the time. You were chosen from the very beginning, marked for a purpose far greater than you could have imagined. This video will help you remember what has been hidden from you and awaken you to your true identity. So, I urge you, watch this video until the end. What I am about to share will open your eyes and bring a spiritual awakening that will change your life forever. Before we begin, I need you to do 3 things. Number 1, like this video, so more chosen ones can find it. Number 2, subscribe to our channel. Let's grow this community to 30,000 strong. Number 3, comment 99. This number carries powerful energy that will magnify this message. If you are truly chosen, you will feel it in your soul. This message was meant for you. Now, let us embark on this journey together to uncover your divine purpose. From the moment you were born, you were different. The signs were there, subtle, yet powerful. The world may not have noticed, but God did. He set you apart, marking you for something greater, something far beyond the ordinary. While others lived without questioning, you always felt there was more. More to life, more to your existence, more to the world around you. Even as a child, you may have felt out of place, as if you didn't quite belong. While other children played and laughed without a care, you were drawn to deeper thoughts. Perhaps you sat quietly, observing the world, trying to understand things beyond what others could see. Maybe you questioned life in ways that even adults struggled to answer. You may have often asked yourself, why am I here? What is my true purpose? Why do I think differently than everyone else? At times, this difference may have made you feel lonely, like no one truly understood you. But let me tell you this, it was never a weakness. That feeling of being different, of being set apart, was a divine sign. It was God's way of showing you that you were meant for something greater. Ephesians 1:4 tells us, "For he chose us in Christ before the foundation of the world. In his love he predestined us to be holy and without blemish." From the very start, God placed his hand upon you, guiding your steps even when you didn't realize it. Those moments of isolation were preparation, not punishment. They shaped you, molded you, and set you on a path toward your higher calling. Looking back, you may see now that those times when you felt different, when you felt like an outsider, were actually moments of divine positioning. God was aligning your spirit with his purpose, whispering to your soul that you were meant for more. So do not see your past as a burden. See it as a blessing. You were never meant to fit in. You were chosen to stand out. And now the time has come for you to embrace your divine purpose and step fully into the calling that has been upon your life since the very beginning. Number 1, you always felt different. While others fit in easily, you often felt like an outsider. You saw the world differently, thought differently, and questioned things that others never even considered. While many were content with surface-level conversations and simple pleasures, you were drawn to deeper truths. Your mind was always searching, always seeking something more, because it was divinely guided. You may have struggled to connect with peers, not because you lacked social skills, but because your thoughts and spirit were always focused on something bigger. Even from a young age, you found yourself contemplating the meaning of life, the mysteries of the universe, and the presence of God. While others were preoccupied with temporary things, you were drawn to truth, wisdom, and spiritual matters. At times, this difference may have felt lonely. You may have wondered, why don't I think like everyone else? Why do I feel so different? But let me tell you this, your uniqueness was never an accident. It was a calling. Jeremiah 29:11 reassures us, "For I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. God created you to stand out, not to blend in. The way your mind works, the way your heart feels, the way your spirit longs for something greater, it's all part of His divine design. You were set apart for a reason. Embrace your uniqueness, because it is the key to your purpose. The world needs people like you, those who see beyond the ordinary, who ask the deeper questions, and who seek the truth that leads to God. Number 2. You had a strong sense of empathy. From childhood, you felt deeply for others. You could sense when someone was hurting, even when they said nothing at all. Their pain weighed on your heart as if it were your own, and their happiness lifted your spirit as if you were the one experiencing it. This was not just sensitivity or a personality trait. It was a divine gift, a reflection of God's love working through you. Empathy is one of the clearest signs of a chosen one. It means that God has entrusted you with the ability to heal, to comfort, and to guide others toward Him. While the world may see empathy as a burden, in God's eyes, it is a calling. He placed this gift in you so that you could bear the burdens of others, not as a weight to crush you, but as a mission to bring light and love to those who need it most. Galatians 6:2 reminds us, "Bear one another's burdens and so fulfill the law of Christ." Your ability to feel deeply is not a flaw. It is a sign that God has called you to serve. Perhaps you found yourself drawn to those who are struggling, offering a listening ear, a kind word, or silent support. Maybe you've wondered why you care so much when others seem indifferent. It's because you were chosen to be different. Your compassion was never weakness. It was your strength. It is the evidence of God's hand upon your life, shaping you into someone who reflects His love. Do not run from it. Embrace it. The world needs more hearts like yours. Number 3. You had deep, meaningful dreams. God speaks to His chosen ones in many ways, and one of the most powerful is through dreams. Have you ever had a dream so vivid, so intense, that it felt more real than anything else? Have you ever dreamt of something, only to see it unfold in real life days, weeks, or even years later? If so, know this: these were not coincidences. They were divine messages, carefully placed in your heart by God Himself. In Matthew 1:20-21, we see a powerful example of this. But while he thought about these things, behold, an angel of the Lord appeared to him in a dream, saying, "Joseph, son of David, do not be afraid to take Mary as your wife, for what is conceived in her is from the Holy Spirit. She will give birth to a son, and you shall call his name Jesus, for he will save his people from their sins." Just as God spoke to Joseph, guiding him toward his divine purpose, He still speaks to His chosen ones today. Some dreams bring warnings, preparing you for what's ahead. Others bring clarity, giving you peace in times of uncertainty. Some may even reveal glimpses of the future, awakening you to a deeper spiritual understanding. If you have ever had a dream that stayed with you, one that whispered a truth into your soul, one that felt like more than just imagination, know that it was not random. It was God communicating with you, reminding you that He is guiding your steps. Pay attention to these moments. Pray for understanding. God is revealing something important to you. Are you listening? Number 4. You experienced divine protection. Think back. Have there been moments in your life where danger was near, yet somehow you were spared? Times when a situation should have ended badly, yet everything turned around in ways you couldn't explain? Have you ever looked back at a moment in your past and realized that you shouldn't have made it through, but you did? These moments were not coincidences. They were not luck. They were divine intervention. Psalm 34:7 reminds us, "The angel of the Lord encamps around those who fear Him, and He delivers them." This means that God has been watching over you from the very beginning. You were never truly alone, even when you felt lost. His hand was always upon you, protecting you in ways you didn't even realize at the time. Perhaps there were days when you wondered, "How did I get through that?" The answer is simple. God was with you. The enemy may have tried to bring harm into your life, but God's protection was greater. Every time you were saved from unseen danger, every time an opportunity opened when it should have closed, every time you found strength when you should have been broken, those were signs that God was watching over you. Even in the darkest times, even when you doubted, even when you felt abandoned, He never left you. His angels were encamped around you, shielding you from harm. And now, as you step into your divine calling, know this: the same God who protected you then is still with you now. Number 5. You had an unexplainable connection to God. From a young age, you felt drawn to God. Maybe you couldn't explain it, but deep inside, you knew He was real. It was as if His presence surrounded you, guiding you in ways you didn't fully understand. While others went about their lives without thinking much about faith, you felt something deeper: a longing, a connection, an unshakable awareness that there was more to this world than what the eyes could see. At times, you may have felt an urge to pray, even when you didn't know why. Perhaps you found yourself talking to God in moments of uncertainty, seeking His presence when you were alone. And when you did, you experienced a peace that went beyond understanding, a calm assurance that no matter what happened, He was with you. Jeremiah 29:12-13 tells us, "You will call upon me and come and pray to me, and I will hear you. You will seek me and find me when you search for me with all your heart." This means your desire for God was never random. It was a divine relationship, one that had been with you since childhood. That connection has always been there, a quiet but powerful presence in your life. It was God's way of reminding you that you were never alone, that He had a purpose for you, and that He was calling you closer to Him. Now it is time to embrace that calling, to nurture that relationship, and to walk confidently in the purpose He has set before you. Everything you have experienced, your loneliness, your deep thoughts, your sensitivity, your vivid dreams, and your unshakable connection to God, was never random. Every moment of doubt, every unanswered question, every feeling of being different was not a mistake. It was preparation. James 1:2-4 reminds us, "Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, lacking nothing." This means that nothing you have endured was in vain. Every trial strengthened you. Every tear watered the seeds of wisdom in your soul, and every hardship refined you like gold in the fire. Your struggles were never meant to break you. They were meant to build you. The pain you felt was shaping you. The moments of rejection were setting you apart. The challenges were molding you into the person God designed you to be. What once seemed like obstacles were actually stepping stones leading you closer to your divine purpose. Now the question is, will you embrace it? Will you allow everything you have endured to fuel your faith, to step forward with confidence, knowing that you were chosen for something greater? The time has come to walk boldly into the life God has prepared for you. Your journey was never meant to end in struggle. It was always meant to lead to victory. Now that you understand the truth, the question is, what will you do with it? Knowing that you are chosen is not just about awareness, it is about action. God did not set you apart without a reason. He did not place this calling upon your life for it to remain dormant. He chose you to be a light in the darkness, a messenger of His love, and a vessel for His divine purpose. You are here to make a difference, to bring hope where there is despair, and to shine in a world that desperately needs God's presence. John 15:16 declares, "You did not choose me, but I chose you, and appointed you that you should go and bear fruit, fruit that will last." This means your calling is not temporary or insignificant. It is eternal. You were chosen to bear fruit, to impact lives, to spread truth, to walk in faith, and to bring others closer to God. This is not just a privilege, it is a responsibility. Now, it is time to step into your divine purpose. No more doubting, no more waiting. The same God who called you will equip you. He will guide you, strengthen you, and lead you toward everything He has prepared for you. The world needs the gifts He has placed inside you. Will you answer the call? Will you rise and walk in the purpose for which you were created? The choice is yours. But remember, you were chosen for such a time as this. If this message has resonated with you, if you recognize these signs in your own life, know this: you are not alone. Many others just like you are awakening to their true purpose. You are part of a greater plan, a divine movement unfolding before our eyes. So, take this message to heart. Embrace it, live it, and share it with those who need to hear it. You were chosen for something extraordinary, something beyond what you can imagine. Now is the time to step forward in faith and claim the purpose that God has placed upon your life. If you are ready to walk in your divine calling, type 99 in the comments. Let this be your declaration of faith and alignment with God's plan. Thank you for being here, for listening, and for answering the call. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss a message meant for you. Together, we are stronger. Together, we will fulfill our purpose. The world has awakened to your presence. Those who once dismissed you, the powerful, the envious, the doubters, now find themselves unable to look away. You, the chosen one, stand at the heart of a story they never wanted you to own. They whispered in secret, wove lies into the wind, and tried to turn shadows into your cage, believing their words could write your destiny. But they forgot one thing: you were never meant to be silenced. Their gossip did not destroy you, it crowned you. Every venom-laced word became gold. Every attempt to bury you became a stepping stone. While they were lost in the smallness of their schemes, you were building, creating, rising. They thought pressure would break you, but they miscalculated the truth. The chosen ones do not fall. They rise. And now, the world is watching. Not out of pity, but out of awe. They see you, unshaken, unstoppable, undeniable. This is just the beginning. If you know what it means to turn struggle into strength, to stand in your truth no matter the storm, then you are exactly where you belong. Subscribe, like, and share. Because this isn't just a story, it's a movement. And you? You were born to be a part of it. They never meant for you to be seen. They never expected you to rise. In their minds, you were supposed to stay in the shadows, silent, unnoticed, insignificant. But destiny had other plans. They tried to bury your name beneath lies, hoping the weight of their falsehoods would crush you. Yet all they did was amplify your voice. The more they spoke, the more people began to see. Not just hear the rumors, but truly see who you are. And what they saw was something undeniable, a force too powerful to break, too real to ignore. You never needed deception, slander, or manipulation to make your mark. Those were their weapons, not yours. While they fought in the mud, you stood firm. You didn't sink to their level, you rose above it. That was your greatest strength. Not just your resilience, but the way you carried yourself through the storm. People started to notice the contrast. Your grace against their chaos, your calm against their desperation. The louder they became, the more the world paid attention, not to their words, but to your actions. And in that moment, the truth became impossible to deny. The more they tried to tarnish your name, the brighter you shined. What they failed to realize was simple. You don't fight battles you've already won. You didn't need to yell over their noise. You didn't need to defend yourself against their lies. Your silence was louder than their accusations, your presence more powerful than their schemes. You let your actions speak, and in doing so, you turned their entire game against them. And so, the world took note. Not of their rumors, but of your strength. Not of their chaos, but of your composure. They watched, captivated as you refused to fall. And in that moment, you became unstoppable. They underestimated you. They mistook your silence for weakness, your patience for surrender. They thought their whispers could break you, that their carefully crafted schemes, wrapped in deception and delivered with precision, would make you stumble. But they were wrong, because you were never just anyone. You were chosen, and the chosen are not destroyed by storms. They rise above them. They use the winds meant to tear them down to lift them higher. With every attack, you became stronger. Every attempt to pull you down only pushed you further ahead. They thought they were setting a trap, but all they did was lay the foundation for your ascent. And then, before they even realized what had happened, the tables turned. The world stopped listening to them and started watching you. At first, they watched out of curiosity. How could someone face so much opposition and remain unshaken? How could you stand tall while others unraveled? How could their drama, designed to drown you, somehow become your fuel? And then, something incredible happened. They weren't just watching anymore, they were listening. Because in a world drowning in noise, truth does not need to shout. It radiates. It moves without force, without deception, without manipulation. And in you, they saw something rare, a soul that refused to compromise its light. While they waged petty wars, you built an empire, not of power, not of control, but of wisdom, strength, and truth. And that is something no enemy can ever destroy. They tried to turn people against you. They whispered in secret, planting seeds of doubt, hoping their words would take root and turn admiration into suspicion. They twisted truths, exaggerated flaws, and wove their narratives so carefully that they believed they had control over the story. But they miscalculated. Badly. Because instead of pushing people away from you, they drew them closer. What they meant as a weapon became your spotlight. What they thought would bury you only elevated you. They assumed their influence was power, but true power does not belong to those who manipulate. It belongs to those who stand in truth, and the truth about you was undeniable. At first, people listened to the rumors, but then they saw you. They watched the way you carried yourself, not with anger, not with bitterness, but with a quiet, unshakable strength. And in that contrast, something remarkable happened. They realized the difference. They saw the calm in your presence versus the chaos in their accusations. They noticed the dignity in your silence against the desperation in their words. While they screamed for attention, you commanded it, not by force, but by simply being who you are. And suddenly, their words lost power. Your presence became a refuge in a world full of noise. People were drawn to you, not because you sought attention, but because your light was impossible to ignore. It was something real, something unshaken, something that couldn't be fabricated or faked. They sensed it before they even understood it. A force so strong it silenced the lies before they could take root. And in that moment, something greater than growth happened. This was not just a rise, this was an awakening. What they didn't understand, what they could never grasp, was that your destiny was never in their hands. No matter how much they schemed, how carefully they plotted, or how loudly they whispered, they were never the authors of your story. Because long before they ever spoke your name, it was already written. They believed they were orchestrating your downfall. They worked in shadows, pulling strings, convinced that their efforts would be enough to make you stumble. But what they failed to see was that they were never in control. They weren't writing the final chapter of your story. They were merely playing into a higher plan, one that had already secured your victory. They whispered about your failures, hoping the world would turn against you. But every attempt to close a door in your face only led to greater opportunities. Every obstacle they placed in your path became a stepping stone. While they were busy weaving deception, fate was aligning everything in your favor. One by one, their alliances crumbled. The people they relied on began to see through their games. Lies have a short lifespan, but truth endures. And the truth always finds a way to rise. And so, their carefully laid plans began to unravel. They thought their efforts to bring you down would break you. Instead, those very efforts became the force that lifted you higher. What they meant for harm, the universe turned into a blessing. What they built as a trap became your stage. Because when someone is chosen, the universe doesn't just support them, it protects them. Every falsehood spoken against you was met with divine justice. Every betrayal only led you to something greater. And then, the world began to notice. At first, they thought it was a coincidence. But then, they saw the pattern, the way things always worked in your favor, the way your enemies always seemed to fall into the traps they set for you. And suddenly, everything changed. Because your success was no longer just about hard work or perseverance. It became proof that the divine does not make mistakes. Proof that you were never just surviving, you were thriving. And in that moment, the whispers faded into irrelevance. The people who once questioned you began to admire you. The very ones who once doubted your strength now looked to you as a symbol of resilience. And that realization, it changed everything. At first it was subtle, just a shift, a quiet ripple barely noticeable in the grand scheme of things. But the truth has a way of making itself known, and what began as a ripple soon became a wave. People who once believed the lies started to see through them. They realized the difference between fabrication and authenticity, between empty accusations and undeniable truth. What once seemed uncertain became clear. You had never needed to defend yourself. The truth had been on your side all along. And then the ones who had stood against you. They began to disappear. One by one, their voices lost power. Their influence crumbled under the weight of their own deception. The louder they had shouted, the weaker they now seemed. Because lies are fragile things. They may spread quickly, but they always collapse under their own weight. While they had spent their time plotting, you had been building. While they had wasted energy trying to pull you down, you had been rising. And when the dust finally settled, there was no contest. You stood tall, while they faded into irrelevance. Because you didn't just survive, you changed the entire game. You were never meant to fit into their mold. You were never meant to follow their rules, walk their well-worn paths, or seek their approval. From the beginning you were different, set apart, destined for more. Because the chosen ones don't follow paths, they create them. While others sought comfort in the familiar, you embraced the unknown. While they moved in groups, relying on the noise of the crowd, you walked alone. Not because you had to, but because you were meant to. You fought silent battles they never saw, endured storms that were meant to break you, but instead of breaking, you transformed. The pressure they placed upon you didn't crush you. It refined you, shaping you into something stronger, wiser, unstoppable. And now, the world watches. Not out of pity, not because they feel sorry for what you've endured, but because they are in awe. Because you didn't just rise, you ascended. Your trials weren't meant to destroy you. They were never punishments, never signs of failure. They were preparations. Every hardship, every setback, every moment of doubt was a step towards something greater. And now, as you step fully into your destiny, you realize something profound. This was never about proving them wrong. It was never about seeking revenge, about making them see their mistakes, or about forcing them to acknowledge your worth. This was always about proving yourself right, because deep down, you always knew. You knew you were meant for more. You knew you were different. You knew that no amount of lies, betrayal, or resistance could change what had already been written for you. And now? Now you walk forward, not for them, but for you. They thought they were writing your ending, that their whispers, betrayals, and schemes would be the final chapter of your story. But what they didn't realize was that they were never the authors of your fate. Their attempts to break you didn't signal your downfall. They became the very foundation of your rise. Because the chosen ones don't just survive the storm, they become it. Every setback became your momentum. Every moment of doubt became proof of your resilience. Their chaos didn't destroy you, it fueled you. Their doubt didn't weaken you, it became your power. And now, the world isn't just watching, it's waiting. Waiting to see what comes next. Waiting for the next chapter of your story. But here's the best part. You get to write it. No one else. Not them. not the ones who doubted you. Only you. So as you step forward, stronger than ever, remember this. Your journey is far from over. It's just beginning. And if this message resonates with you, if you feel the fire of purpose burning within you, then join this movement. Subscribe, like, and share. Because together, we're not just telling a story, we're rewriting the rules. Thank you for being here. Thank you for believing in your own strength. Your time is now.